You already know, you know.
Who knows, isn't it? When you know you're more, like you know in it. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's all about perception, isn't it? Because this is Arabic, apart from sub-Saharan Africa, which is the difference with the Black Africa, So I mean, North Africa, part of Africa, but I don't personally look at them as Africans as such, If they don't want to be, they are what they are, Arabic people,
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you have anything else you want to add on, King?
Well, not really, Nothing else to add. Just to say, really, you keep up the good work, and and I don't know, it's just the way, the outlook on life, for Black people is very important. You need to have a good outlook, and positive outlook on the right things, focus on the right things rather than the negative aspect of life, focus on the right things. It's all about everything, man. It's all about mindset.
Of course, keeping the mindset positive and clean and pure. Definitely. I'm with you 100% on that.
Okay, well, maybe just that, somebody gets a chance to contribute. Okay?
All right, King, no worries. Thank you for your contribution. Peace. All right, that was Adi from Hendon. Thank you for sharing some information. Now, yeah, we're back on the YouTube, fortunately, which was good. So yeah, we just got a couple of updates before we get into the prayer and the main event. The first thing is that this week, High Priest Amun is performing, you can imagine, performing tomorrow at the Orchard Tavern from 7:30 in Shepherd's Bush, Askew Road. It's a free event. If you want to see the High Priest Amun in person tomorrow in Shepherd's Bush and performing, feel free to pop in at the Orchard Tavern by Askew Road from about 7 o'clock, 7:30 to see the High Priest Amun perform his music. Also, possibly, but we're not confirmed. We could be also performing in Finsbury Park at the same day or same night, depending how High Priest Amun feels. But there's a Freedom Jam Night at the Eagle in Finsbury Park from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock or till late. Then on Saturday the 20th, High Priest Amun is scheduled to be performing in Bournemouth for the anniversary of the freedom movement in Bournemouth Beach. So if you want to come see High Priest Amun there as well, perform, all you have to do is come to Bournemouth Beach on Saturday the 20th of August, and you can see High Priest Amun for free. By the way, all the events are free. In fact, the High Priest Amun is mentioned in the updates, so pretty much as if you want it, to be honest. Like High Priest Amun is not begging or saying anything. If you want to feel the Metascience, if you want to experience the Metascience in this purest form, then come on down to all these events. And lastly, we have an event next week from the 28th in Carnival. We got the Bossa Wine Freedom Carnival Party, which will start at 1 o'clock and finish at 6 for those 2 days. And yeah, come true. If you want some positive vibes, if you want some spiritual Metascience, if you don't want to be caught up in the commotion and the negative, disagreeable energy in Carnival, come true to the Metascience corner, the Freedom corner, and support High Priest Amun. You're done, Metascience. Now, shout out to everybody that's in the YouTube. Shout out to Kaz. Shout out to Nosa Muhammad. Now we're gonna get into the prayer shortly, but we're just gonna go off air for a couple of moments. You're done now, Metascience.
Off air.
Yeah, we're off air. That's in the radio.
Yeah.
We're on. Yeah.
Messaging some people to tell them to call in.
You got the number, yeah?
Yeah. We should start talking about the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the spot. On air. In a bit. All right.
It's your tune.
Yeah, this is my tune still.
Beats hard.
Yeah, safe. All right, now we're back on air. Now, before we get into the prayer while we're on air, Metascience is knowledge of self, knowing thyself, knowing your own truth, self-realization, and self-actualization. That's what Metascience is all about. You've done know Metascience. So now, before we get into the main event, we have to do the prayer. Because the prayer is a serious thing. High Priest Amun and others are going through evil and wickedness, or people are trying to stop Ionize strength or Ionize mission on planet Earth. And when we remember the Most High remembers us. So we're going to start with our prayer, the Metascience prayer, before we get into the main event. You've done no Metascience. So let's go. Now we give thanks and praises to Atumre, Amun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yahweh, Adonai, Marduk, Melchizedek, Al Kadir, Usa, Use, Eru, Anu, Enki, Ma'at, Ptah, Rastafari, Highly Celestial, Metascience, to mommy, to daddy, to granny, to granddad, to the ancestors, and to the Most High. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for protecting us and guiding us away from the evil and wickedness that exists on the planet and the cosmos. We also give thanks and praises to the Most High for the unconditional love that we receive in every breath that we take and in every moment that we breathe, and also in every moment that we live. We also give thanks and praises to the Most High for the grace upon our lives. We give thanks and praises to the Most High that even when a situation seems bleak, there's always a way out. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for protecting our loved ones, especially those who are on the other side, and our loved ones who are in jail or in a mental health institution. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for the prosperity that we receive in our lives. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for the Holy Spirit that creates oneness in our reality. And lastly, we give thanks and praises to the Most High for protecting us and guiding us and being our shield as we walk the path of righteousness so that we can enter the kingdom of heaven, which is Zion. Amen. Amun, Metascience. Now, the High Priest one last question for all you kings and queens and gods and goddesses that are tuned into Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, and also on YouTube Live and Instagram Live. Are you ready for the main event on the Metascience Ministries Reason and Fellowship Show? I cannot hear you. If you are ready for the Metascience Ministries main event on the Metascience Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship radio show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, make some mother noise tonight on the Metascience Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM. The High Priest Amun and the Mortal Schemes and also other guests are going to be talking about. We are talking about why women pretend to be spiritual. Now, High Priest Amun came up with this topic tonight because we got a story to tell, a couple of stories to tell. So, for example, the first story. High Priest Amun was in Brixton last weekend, and he was doing his campaign for the Metascience, and he was with a few other kings in Brixton town, and the vibe was nice, the energy was cool, everything goes so well. However, when it came to nighttime, the witches came out. The witches came out claiming that they're spiritual. Shout out to WTF is going on. Shout out to Kaz. Shout out to Nosso Muhammad. Shout out to Bev. Shout out to Seydu. Shout out to everybody that's on Omega FM Radio.co.uk locked in. Family. So anyway, we were in Brixton town, and when the clock struck 9 o'clock, or when it became sunset, the witches came out. And yeah, the energy changed in Brixton from a, let's say, semi-righteous energy to a disagreeable energy.
Okay.
And High Priest Amun, I was a bit concerned because on road, High Priest Amun saw a lot of females dressed not modest, and some were even claiming that they were spiritual. Some were even wearing the ankh, rocking the ankh. Some were saying that they even are a witch and that they practice the shadow self, or trying to master the shadow self, which is basically like the disagreeable self, to express the disagreeable self. It's not about suppressing the disagreeable self, it's expressing the disagreeable self, i.e. the lower ego self. This is what they're on. Now, High Priest Amun was like, what's going on? What's going on? High Priest Amun met a couple of females saying that they're lost and they need direction. They need to be directed to the righteous path. And then High Priest Amun goes and sees on their social media page, and they're doing the most for clout, taking naked pictures and then saying, giving a spiritual quotation about it with a naked picture. And High Priest Amun is like, that don't add up. That don't add up. The number one or fundamental rule about spirituality, especially for a woman, is to be modest, to dress modest. Some people be criticizing and be skeptical about women wearing hijab and wearing veil and that. But did you know that that is more righteous than having cleavage out and skinning out on road? And that's how the High Priest Amun is perceiving things. Now, we got Immortal Schemes in the house, and he possibly has a couple of stories to tell himself. Go on, bro.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, like you were saying, why are the women Is my mic on?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, why are the women in the Western world claiming they're spiritual when they're not? And I think the reason is a lot of these women that are claiming they're spiritual, they just do it for the clout. They wear the ankh and the talismans and the crystals to perceive or make a perception to the rest of the world that they're spiritual, when really they're not doing the rituals, they're not eating right, they're eating McDonald's, Burger King, and all of that, like, which is gonna put a negative frequency on their body because they're not eating right. If they're eating beef and too much meat, they're gonna lower the frequency in themselves. Not eating plant-based foods, and they're claiming they are, and they're not, like you said, the ego as well. They still have the ego inside them. They're not moving away from the ego. They're not doing the crystal rituals. Or they're not going out and doing their prayers. So, but they want to put the tattoo of the ankh on their skin, or wear the ankh, and claim they're spiritual, but they're not. You even get some women that you'll meet them for the first time, get their number, whatever. You'll meet up with them, you'll talk to them, you'll have a spiritual conversation, and then they just ghost you. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a call last night from a female late last night. She called me out the blue around 12 at midnight, and we started talking, got into a conversation, and she started to say that she was spiritual. She started talking about Dr. Sabi. She started talking how the news is 90% lies, and she started talking about crystals, Reiki, whatever. So she drew me in. I'll admit, she drew me in, and I started talking about my spiritual experiences, and I started teaching her, but I was teaching her more than she was teaching me. Don't know if it was my energy was too strong, but we got into a conversation and we started talking for like nearly an hour and a half, nearly two. Got off the phone for her. She said she will send me a number. She called me on private, and she said she will send me a number. Send me a number the next day. Added her, but when I went to message her, firstly it went through to the grey tick, went through to the blue tick, and then she just ghosted me. Like, tried to call her, and it just went through to voicemail straight away. So most of these chicks are energy sucking vampires. They'll
Man said energy sucking vampires.
They'll come to you and act like they're spiritual just to get the information out of you, and then they'll go to next man and talk to them about the spiritual stuff, and then act like they have had the knowledge all along, when really they got it from the real spiritual nigga. The real spiritual brother. Spiritual brother. Bye bye.
Yes, and the problem is that, you know, the man them that on a high frequency, that are on the righteous path, it's difficult for them to have a righteous queen, because sometimes those spiritual women, or those women pretending to be spiritual, they, like what you said, of energy sucking vampires. Yeah. And it's like, instead of aid you, it's like, for example, the queen, the goddess, the empress, Lady M, she was playing, there was a saga that she was playing this Lilith story over and over and over and over and over again. And High Priest Amun was like, you do know Lilith is a bad being. Like, you get me? Like, she's a demon. She's all of that. Like she's not really
the first demon.
Exactly. Like, she's not anybody righteous. And like, the reason why they don't talk about her in the Bible, in the Tanakh, because she was like the first wife of Adam, but she was a disagreeable wife. Instead of being his rib, or she didn't come from the rib, she believed that like she was better than Adam. She didn't believe she was equal to Adam. She believed that she was better than Adam. Instead of submit to Adam, she wanted to fight or challenge Adam. And why we're saying this, because Eve, even she had her flaws, but you know, depending how you read the Bible, again, you can see certain things there's reasons why they ate from the apple, the tree of life, the fruit from the tree of life. But to cut long story short, most of the women out there today, like, they use the spirituality not for righteousness, but for themselves, for personal gain. You follow that? A high priest, someone else, has had situations, but it's break time.
Media Radio.
Okay.
104.9.
So we're off air.
Sorry about that.
News and
I got too excited.
I said I got too excited. Oh shit! Oh my days! Now, so we're off air, but we're on the YouTube. We're on the Instagram. Let's check what's going on the Instagram, because it's looking popping still. So, man, them are saying, Metascience, woo, I'm ready. You can say the same about men or trans. Ban the booker. Real chat. Natalie, bro, my loves, my loves, my me. Sebi, tell her to smoke weed. Laughing, weed, clout girls. Next time, guard yourself with garlic, Kaz. Ha, garlic. Yeah, because of the vampire thing.
Okay.
You get it?
Oh, you said cons. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the garlic. You get me? Like the vampire, they don't like garlic and that.
True.
And then you got Bav saying, great show for tonight. Kaz, hey, WTF, what's going on? You get me? So we're going to get into the second part.
Guard yourself with these protection stories for real. Because there are these energy sucking vampires out there.
Yeah. They're
Back
out
on
there.
air. Back on air.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Like, we've got like about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes before we're back on air. So literally, if anybody's got questions, want to ask questions on the live, on the Instagram live, YouTube live, feel free. If you want to call in, you can call 07539.
People can call in now, yeah?
They can call in 07539 968143. They want to call in. Someone wants to come in the live now. Let's see what I want. Okay, you can come through. Okay. So we're still off air. We've got another 7 minutes and 30 seconds before we're on air. Yes, bro.
Yo, what's going on, man? You alright?
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, man. You're not on the live now?
No, we're on live. We're on live.
Yeah, we're on live still.
But not on air, not on the radio.
Oh, you're on the break?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you man are sick, man. With the microphone, the whole thing, man, is sick. It's sick, bro. I love it.
Yeah, see it. Cool. But this is Amun's thing too.
Trust me, man. You man are sick. Busting it out there, man. Sick, bro.
See.
Love it. Keep it real, man. Keep it real, my G's.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
I think you should talk about some more relevant stuff, to be honest with you, rather than. I know what you're saying. I know you were saying, Matt, about the relationship thing. That gets a lot more views and stuff, innit?
It does though. Like I see it like on the YouTube, the Instagram. Like people are more engaged in that. Like when you're talking about too much truth, too much conspiracy, you become niche. You know what I mean? You put yourself in a box. You get me? Like plus, like radio is a different thing. Radio is more about me.
But still, you still got to talk about that stuff, because that's like the more relevant stuff. But yeah, there's views. I get you. There's money. There's views.
Exactly.
But there's truth as well at the same time. You get me?
No, I hear that. And then you get me? Like I hear you. You know what I mean? And obviously, like there is shows that we talk about it. And we talk about the truth, but remember about the censorship, bro, because of the radio.
Bro, I'm opening a YouTube channel just for my kids, just to make some dough in it on the side. Why not? Fuck it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You gotta do that, do that still.
Anyway.
Yes, bro. Are you still there?
So, do women need to pretend to be spiritual? What do you think? What is your actual, real, honest opinion?
Well,
100%.
I think I said it. I want to hear your.
We said
opinion.
it. Like we're trying to see what you're saying. You get it? Like we 100% know that they're on that. Like you get it? Like more time. Like the spiritual women. You know what I mean? Like they're too old. You get it? Like and like the real ones. Like they've reached their sell by date. Like they came into the thing like when they're like their granny and that.
You can't say things like that, man. That's not.
What do you mean you can't say that? But that's my reality, bro. Huh?
Say them things, man.
Yeah, but you get it. Nah, man.
It's true though.
Chocolate or piece of fruit or something. Like sell by date. You can't say things like sell by date, man. Come on, bro. People are like living, man.
No, I hear you. I mean, okay, that's me being a bit too like blunt or not being nice. Yeah, if you want me to be nice,
that's a bit nasty, man. That's a bit nasty, bro.
Yeah, like I'll say okay, they've come to the point where like they're slowing down. You know what I mean?
Part of kids, yeah.
That and like they're just it's a bit.
It's true though that most women that reach spirituality, they reach spirituality in their late 40s, 50s, when they come to the point where they've realized that they've messed around too much with man, and it's time to settle down. It's time to purify their mind, raise the frequencies. When they're younger,
true story.
When they're younger,
I'll continue a true story if you've got 2 minutes.
Let's hear from you.
True story that my dad passed away in 2007, and my mum got really fucked up. We all got really fucked up because depression and all that kind of stuff. And all my mum done was listen to spiritual.
She's back to normal. That's it. She was normal. For 2-3 years, she was absolutely fucked up. But when she listened to all these spiritual vibes and all that, getting yourself better. The vibes, the good vibes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, 2-3 years.
And that's because the things she was listening to her was on a high frequency. The words that she was hearing was on a high frequency. So that's what put her. That's what got her out of her depression.
Exactly.
But women, when they're younger, they don't want to be on that level. They don't want to be on that frequency. They want to be on a low frequency, on the low chakra, on the root chakra.
A low frequency, exactly.
They don't want to be. They want to.
She conquered through that, and she didn't need no fucking new man or nothing like that. You get me? Just the vibration, the high frequency, as you guys are saying.
Yeah,
that's the way, bro.
Yeah, I hear that, bro. It's true. It's the way.
You know what 100%. I mean? And it's like you realize that like let's say like 10 years ago, we were seen as mad. You know what I mean? Like our path, what we were doing. You know what I mean? Like we were just against the norm. You get me, against the mainstream. And people couldn't get it. Like I remember my cousins back in the day, like when I was talking about spiritual shit and Kemet and Egypt, they couldn't comprehend what man was saying. They were just like, this guy is cuckoo. And then 10 years later, like I see them posting shit about that stuff, like, and I'm like,
he was on that time.
Yeah, like I don't even have to get involved. Like we
graduated.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's primary school. Like
the Egyptian stuff, the Kemet stuff, we have graduated from that. Like, it's still there in our minds. But
you go on Facebook, you get some memories, innit? And then the Facebook says, not from 5 years ago, from 10 years ago, whatever, innit? I had a post from 10 years ago, 2012, where I posted about chemtrails.
Yeah.
I was thinking, shit, yeah.
No, I hear that. But yeah,
anyway.
We're gonna go back on air, innit, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you want to be on, just make sure you don't swear.
No motherfuckers, nothing like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I hear you, man.
Definitely none of that.
I'm just getting it out of my system right now, innit?
Yeah. Because we've got like 30 seconds left, and we're going back on air.
Let's go.
Yeah.
bro.
So let me sort it out. Okay, yeah. So hold on.
Selves to blame. We must have a do or die attitude as we were as street warriors to rebuild our culture and to create a new lasting legacy, a legacy of peace.
The music you want, the information you need.
All right. I'm welcome back to the Metascience Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, and also on YouTube Live and Instagram Live. This is the High Priest, Grand Hyphen of Metascience Ministries. Amun. You done know Metascience. And we have a special guest in the studio tonight. Immortal Schemes. How's it going in Omega FM Radio.co.uk's headquarters?
Yeah, it's going great. My first time here. Yeah, it's going great. My first time here. Yeah, it's wonderful so far.
Oh, praise be to God. And we got also someone else, Mr. No Bull SHITE, that's on the Instagram Live. How are you doing, bro? Are you there, bro? Okay, it don't seem like you're there, but he's there. He's still present on the Instagram Live. But yeah, so the main event tonight on the Metascience Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, is, do women pretend to be spiritual? Now, so far, High Priest Someone L and Immortal Schemes have said a couple of stories. And it's like, we want to argue, we want to debate. We don't want to argue, we want to debate. We want to be proved wrong if what we're saying, our hypothesis or our theory is wrong. Are we just chatting nonsense and we don't have anything to back it? Is everybody an individual and you shouldn't judge them collectively? This is what we're saying. Now, I Priest Someone else got so many stories to tell about this. It's like, for example, when High Priest Someone else was on the path of the Metascience, High Priest Someone else was, how can we put it? High Priest Someone else was riding one day to Kingston, and High Priest Someone else can remember like this was yesterday, and this was a very long time ago. And High Priest Someone else remembers he wasn't riding, he was driving to university, Kingston University, back in the day, very long time ago. And High Priest Someone else must have saw this girl, and at the time, High Priest Someone else was about 21, about 20 or 21. And High Priest Someone else saw an aura about her. There was something spiritual about her. And he stopped the car and he started chatting to the girl. And then the girl was like, she was spiritual. No, it wasn't even like, it was just a quick thing. It wasn't even no long thing. I just said, can I have your number? And that was it. And then, I don't know, something, a few moments later, like when I got to university now, like she added man on WhatsApp, and then she's posted, like she got on a display picture, her tattoo, like of the Eye of Horus. Like, in retrospect, High Priest Someone overstands what she was doing. But at the time, in that moment of time, High Priest Someone was gullible, naive. I was like, oh, this girl's spiritual. Oh, she's on the same wavelength as man. Oh, that is meant to be. Like it was fate. that brought us together. And then, so we started linking and all of that. And then I realized like that she was like she knew about like Kemet. She was about the Nuwapians, like she was reading the books, reading the scrolls. And I put someone out, like cared for her because he knew that like, or she showed potential that she was spiritual, that she wanted to like improve her life, be on that path, the Metascience path. Until suddenly things didn't start adding up. Like she was living a reckless lifestyle, and at the time she was about 18 or something, and she was like not staying at home, going to different places in UK, like just running away from home, like just basically at that age that sometimes women are just on a reckless thing. They don't want to stay at home. They just want to do everything by themselves. They're becoming a woman or whatever. Like they're just doing the mazza, doing the mad thing. Anyway, like what someone else said, he was gullible. He was naive at the time. He was innocent. You follow that? He was innocent, and he had a good heart. So she said that she wanted to come to my house or to my parents' house at the time. And she came, like I picked her up from Victoria Coach Station, like at a late night. And then like she came through, and then everything was all good. And then she went back home to Feltham. She was living in Feltham at the time. And then High Priest someone else believes there was a time she had she just I don't know, something happened, like she just came to the house, and then I thought, like she was a good girl and all of that. And then all of a sudden, like she stays at High Priest someone else's house for a couple of days. And then when she leaves, like she thieves my dad's jewelry, like his ring, his bracelet. And at the time, again, like what we're saying, High Priest someone else was gullible, naive, innocent. I didn't believe that she would do that. Like High Priest someone else believed the lies. Because when I questioned her and asked her, did you do it? She was like, no, I didn't do it. But I wouldn't do it. And then when my mom and dad questioned her, that did she do it? She burst into tears. And it's like, High Priest Montel again was vulnerable, was ignorant, innocent, and naive. And then High Priest Montel let her go. And then she was just on a mad sort. Like she was just really, really, really on a mad thing. When she was pretending to be spiritual, like she saw that I was a good guy and she exploited me. So then one day, because my mom and dad didn't condemn that relationship that I had with this girl. And I was like, I wasn't really listening to my mom and dad. How I learn is about getting burnt by the fire. That's the way High Priest someone else learns. Now the YouTube live might cut off because the battery's running out on the laptop. So like what we said in the chat, if you want to continue listening, if you're in London, tune in to 104.1 FM, or if you're in, if it's globally, type in omegafmradio.co.uk to listen online. You're done now, Metascience. So anyway, so I put someone out. Now, when this girl called, I put someone out, she was like, she needs money. No, not even that. No, before that, she was pretending that she's my girlfriend and all them kind of thing there. And then she was clocking, like she wanted money, and I believe she stole my debit card, my bank card. Yeah, she stole my bank card, and she withdrew like £300 from the bank. And then I'm like, what's going on? Like, I didn't see what was going on. Like, I realized I lost my card. And then, like, I see that there was money withdrawn out the card, and it was like coming from that where she was living. But again, like the money came back. Like the bank reimbursed me with the money, the £300, because I claimed that my money like was stolen and that I lost my card, and they got the CCTV footage of everything was going on. But they didn't want to get into legality. They rather just pay me through the insurance, the money back. But still, I was still ignorant, still innocent, naive. I believe that she didn't do it, but someone else did it, or something. I can't even remember. It was such a long time ago. Anyway, High Priest someone else still didn't learn his lesson. So he now went to, like the girl now said that she's going to America to meet the Nuwapians in New York, in like their headquarters, or the Nuwapians are in New York, in Brooklyn. That she's got a ticket, that she's going to see like Dr. Malachi Z. York's son, and that she needs money in that, and that she will repay me in that. And then High Priest Amun gave up, like, because High Priest Amun was balling at the time, had money in that. I thought, you know what? Like, okay, I'll give you money, but can you help me? Can you get some certain books and that? She's like, yeah, I'll get you certain books and all them kind of things there. And that, can you send it to this account? You know what I mean? And it's all calm or whatever. So I sent her some money. And then she just thieved the money and cut. You can imagine she just cut. Like, blocked man on socials, did everything, like, just to get away from man. That's what we're saying. And this girl had all the tattoos, the Ankh, the Eye of Horus, knows the knowledge, and then she's doing all this evil and wickedness. You get it? Exactly, brazy. Like, it's crazy and just out of this world. So anyway, so now, I'm hurting. High Priest someone else hurting. He's like, oh man, like that's not nice. Like how can she do that? Like, High Priest someone else in depression. You know what I mean? Don't want to wake up. Like, just want to be in the bed. You get me? Cause like she took my soft heart and just crushed it like it was nothing. You know what I mean? And then a couple of weeks later now, she hollers on Facebook or something, like just something mad, like one of those social platforms, and she's like to me, oh, that I'm stuck, that they robbed my phone and in America, and that I'm desperate, and that like I'm sorry that I did all of this, and that like you know what I mean, that I really need your help. Like, can you help me, please? You're the only person. I can't speak to my mom because like, I ran away from home and all these kind of things there. And then High Priest someone, I was like, okay, so now you need my help now.
She's in trouble.
Because she's in trouble. So the High Priest someone else thought, you know what? I need to speak to the mom and see what's going on. Because this girl is just unruly. So High Priest someone else managed to get her address to go to the mom's house. And the High Priest someone else went to the mom's house all the way in Feltham and knocked on the door and told the mom, yo, your daughter is unruly. She's out of order. Like, she's on a mazza. Like, she's on a mad thing. Like, she's a bad breed. And then the mom started chatting to High Priest someone else, was like, I know. She's out of control. But she's just crazy. Like, she's a demon. Like,
mum saying this.
The mum said it.
Bruh.
You get it? The mum said it. And High Priest Amun, I was like, oh, she stole my dad's jewelry. And then the mum found the jewelry, like part of the jewelry. You can imagine it was gold jewelry, real gold. And she found like the bracelet in her room and gave it back to man. And like she kind of like settled the thing, like she just, you know what I mean? Like she would, like we're just talking, and it was patterned. You get me? Like, and I just, you get it? Like she was telling me about her story about, you know, she's been through a lot of trauma, like she's lost her daughter, you know what I mean? Like she had to bury her daughter and all them kind of thing there. And that the little daughter, this monster, that yeah, that she's just on a mad thing, that she don't understand why she's moving like that. And you know what I mean? Like, but obviously she cares about her daughter, innit? So she was asking how can she get in contact, like to, you know, to help her out. And then yeah, that's it. Like it just cut off from there. Like I pre someone, I just moved on. And that's just one story. Now we got Kaz saying there's always too many scamming people out there that will happily rip you off and mug you off for whatever they can get. They are selfish and don't care about no one but themselves. Absolutely, Kaz. And we've all experienced these people that will exploit you and believe that they can get away with it, and not knowing that the Most High will hit them with the karma when they least expect it, or the Metascience when they least expect it.
Yeah, 100. You don't even need to do anything back when you get. Most times you don't even need to do anything back when you've been done wrong, because the Most High, if you leave it, the Most High will deal with it. Like you said, karma will come back.
Exactly, bro. The karma will come back. You know what I mean? Because what goes around comes around.
And that's the divine protecting you, the divine beings or the divine gods protecting you.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? Like we just count our blessings. You know what I mean? Kaz also said they will use anything to gain your trust, whether it be spiritual or not. Of course, Kaz, they will use anything. You know what I mean? If they can see the weakness in you, they will exploit that weakness.
But we've experienced this a lot as well, Amun, like going out, like promoting music back in the days in Shoreditch and in Central. Like we'll go out, promote our things, and because our energy is so high, people gravitate towards us. Remember, even the events, the spiritual events that we go to, we play our music, or mostly nowadays you're playing your music, and people just gravitate towards us because the energy is so strong. And then we'll get women that claim they're spiritual coming up to us with the ankh around their neck or the tattoos. And when I'll say stick it on them and say, I see that you're wearing an ankh. Like, do you know what it means? Most times they will say, ankh, like, what's an ankh? So they don't even know what an ankh means, first of all, or what is around their neck. They're basically just wearing it because it looks like a shiny jewelry, and they're just wearing it for fashion. And the thing that women that claim they're spiritual need to know, they need to know the difference between jewelry and talismans. If they're gonna act like or claim that they're spiritual, they need to either wear the talismans or the amulets because they want to do the rituals. But if they're not doing that, then I suggest they don't, because there's no meaning to you having that talisman around your neck, because that talisman is meant to protect you. And if you don't know what to do with it, there's no point in having it around your neck.
No, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Like, it's not a game. Like, when we're wearing our talisman, it's for protection. It's to protect our auras, to protect our spirit. You follow that? And some people are just using it for fashion, like wearing the ankh, wearing certain African symbols, like pretending that they are that when they're not living that life. Like one of the high priest someone else sages or spiritual guides told high priest someone else from the get-go that the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, is more than the fashion show. What he meant by that is that you need to gain the knowledge, you need to live by principle, by integrity, before you can even wear the garments, wear the high priest attire, wear the ankh, wear certain things, because you need to be overstanding.
Your mindset needs to be right.
Exactly.
Because if you're wearing these talismans and your mindset is on a negative energy, that's going to impact the talisman. That's going to put the talismans on a negative energy also, because your electromagnetic energy that's in you, your spirit, if your mindset is on a negative energy, that's all going to flow within your spirit and it's going to put the talisman on a negative energy. If your mindset is on a high frequency, then the talisman is going to be on a high frequency as well. When you're doing your rituals, everything's going to be on a high frequency. So the mindset needs to be right. So like your friend said, you need to have the self-knowledge first, and after that, graduate and get the mindset right as well, get the mindset pure as well.
No, of course. And then Kaz is saying, getting to know you by saying they're spiritual, whatever, it's just their way of getting their foot in the door. Of course, Queen. Absolutely. Now, the YouTube might cut off because the battery is almost dead on the laptop. But like what we said, if you want to continue listening to the reasoning tonight, type in omegafmradio.co.uk or tune in if you're in London to 104.1 FM and you can hear this reasoning continue. You're done now, Metascience. So the time is 9:31. We've got about 29 minutes to go. Now, what else are we going to talk about in terms of this topic? There's so much to talk about, and we're waiting for the phone call for anybody that's against what we're saying, because we're not saying that we're telling the truth. This is just our opinion. This is just our perception. And if you feel that we're chatting nonsense, please call 0753 996 8143 or text 0753 996 8143. You're done now, Metascience. If you got the courage to stand up to what we're saying and tell High Priest someone else, nah, but you know what? You're chatting rubbish. That I'm spiritual. I'm doing my thing. I don't know what you've been doing for you to be attracting that energy. But you get me, like, when I'm not about that life. And like what we said, we're waiting for that phone call. We're waiting for someone to stand to challenge us. And someone's calling. Well, you're looking like Ade. Let's see what Ade's got to say. Greetings.
Read.
Okay, they came off. But they'll call back again.
Isn't that the same number that called?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. But they'll call back if they want to. But yeah, we're just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? We're just on the smoke tonight. So it's been raining yesterday and today. People are excited about the rain. Okay. Greetings. Greetings.
Yeah, hello there again. It's Ade from Engine.
Yes, King. You're right.
What's up, Ade?
I sort of agree with you. You see, sometimes it's like you can't trust people.
In it.
Definitely.
Because I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm not saying no. I want this one to. Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, well, I mean, just goes to show you sometimes you can't trust certain people. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter whether they're male or female. You know, especially over here. I mean, because you feel somebody is genuine, but then not genuine. They're not sincerity in there. Especially you said she's taken from your parents and everything else. So who could have stolen the story? If it does, it must be, and none of your friends could have done that. And it's what you're saying there, I thought they never happened to you before. So
Exactly.
Yes, definitely. It's you can't trust a lot of people.
Yeah.
If when you first meet someone, you feel like you can trust them, but because you're innocent yourself, but then someone else might have a hidden agenda and just want to use you. So you definitely have to be careful of who you let in your life, and that's what is important about the amulets, because when you start to do the rituals and raise the frequency within the amulets, they heighten your heart chakra, and then your intuition is more powerful, so you can see it before it even happens. Like you can see the energy come towards you before it even happens. You can feel the negative energy.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, obviously she's stealing. She's stealing to do something with the money. But I couldn't answer you what sort of angel was trying to steal your money, or she use your card, to get money. And I can't really answer that. She's supposed to, be more, as you say, you will be naive, if you want clued up, then you put a stop to it, and the relationship or whatever it is, so that's just the way it goes. You learn by experience, doesn't it?
Exactly. Like, we're not saying like it's a good or bad thing. We're just saying that, like, everything is everything. Like, I believe someone else had to experience that to make himself a bit more cautious, more vigilant, and more careful in terms of how he engages with people that can't trust a certain amount of people, have to, thoroughly inspect them to see like if they're genuine or not. And yeah, like what we said, we just don't we it's not a positive or negative, it's just what it is.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say for now. Anyway.
All right, Ken, no worries. You take care. Peace. All right. So that was Ade from Hendon calling in. Thank you for your offering to the show. Now, I put someone else has been talking about women pretending to be spiritual, like what we said. Some be wearing the jewelry, having the tattoos, and there's nothing spiritual about them. It's all underneath the surface. There's nothing there. There's no spirit. There's no